everyone quiet, please? And welcome to our first assembly of the 2021 season. For those of you who don't know, the way we start these assemblies is by singing our school song. Older kids help out the younger kids who don't know it yet. It goes like this. Raise me up, I'm going to Sargent. All my teachers care for me, I'll be the best that I can be. So raise me up, I'm going down. Sargent's was for you and me. R is for respect, the thing I learned. A is for achievement, that is what I learned. I is for inclusion, come on sing with me. S is for service, build community. E is for empathy, cause I care about you. And Sargent Elementary. To Sargent Elementary, right next to the almond trees. All my teachers care for me, I'll be the best that I can be. So raise me up, That sounds fantastic. Give yourself a round of applause. And let's have 5 strong claps for the principal of the school, Mrs. Leahy.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to first take notice over here on this side. Raise your hand if you have never in your whole life been at a Sargent School Assembly. That should be our first graders, some second graders too. And so far, just take a look, everybody, how these first graders are looking like they have been here all their lives. Give them 5 claps. So here's the thing. Someone I just walked out with, I think some of the first graders, and someone said, is this another fun run? And it's not a fun run, but it's very fun. And here's the reason why. And first of all, I love how you're all listening, because if you listen well today, you'll gather some fun information that you can go home tonight to you folks and those that you live with and share the good news about what you found out about our special school. I continue to tell you how great Sargent School is, but today you're going to hear a little bit more. And when I first became principal here, I want you to know something that happened. We used to have 5-year-olds that came to this school. They were called kindergartners. Raise your hand if you've ever been a kindergartner. So the kindergartners used to come to Sargent. And when I became principal, it was at an assembly like this, and they said, the superintendent said, the next principal will be Miss Leahy. And then I felt this person, when we were going out to buses, grab the back of my leg, and it was a girl who was about this tall. She's now up in high school, and she said to me, she was 5 years old, she said, my whole life, I never knew a girl principal. And so today, we're celebrating someone who was the first ever girl principal in North Andover, and guess who it was? Say it with me, Annie L. Sargent. So that's why our school is named after someone who's very, very special to us. So Dr. Gilligan, who we know is our superintendent, he couldn't be here today because they're actually building a bigger school over at the Kittredge, but he wanted me to just say a couple quick things about why he's so excited about today, because he knows how special Sargent School is. So he said, I'm sorry I can't be with you all today, you Sharks, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Annie Sargent and her appointment of high school principal. I'm in a site visit. That means he's visiting the Kittredge School in an effort to see if we can get a bigger school built. Anyway, he said, I just want to give a loud shout out to Sargent School for recognizing this extraordinary woman, and to please accept this certificate that I have put together in recognition on my behalf and all of us here in North Andover. In her end of the year report in 1921, so see 1921, 2021, that's 100 years, Annie L. Sargent said, one of the most gratifying aspects of leading a school was the good and loyal spirit behind the students and behind the staff. I believe that spirit is alive and well at Sargent School today. Boy, is it ever. Let's give ourselves 10 claps. So, outstanding. So this is what we're going to do. This is a certificate that we'll put together and we'll hang it in the hall that talks about what we're doing here today. And forever, when you come back and visit us, you'll be able to take a look at it. Now you might say, so Ms. Leahy, we recognize a lot of faces, but there's a few people here that we don't recognize. And so we're going to have Mr. Garenti come up and let you know who's sitting here and why did they come here to Sargent School to celebrate with us. So let's give 5 great claps for Mr. Garenti.
Hello, Sargent School. Oh, I'm so excited to see all of you outside with this assembly. It seems like just yesterday we were out here on the last day of school last year. It seems like the same kind of weather. Glad to see you all here, but I'm not here to talk about that. I am here to talk about my 2 best friends sitting behind me. They took some time out of their day to come to Sargent School. They were nice enough to do that. They're 2 very, very busy people, but they thought it was important to come support each and every one of you here. So let's give, in a second, a big 5 claps, not yet, to our 2, not just 1, we bring 2 state representatives to Sargent School. And those 2 people are Tram Nguyen and Christina Minicucci. Let's give them 5 big claps.
Hello, Sharks. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm really thrilled to be here, to be joining my colleague, Representative Minicucci, as well as your principal. And also, we have another special guest who will be introduced, Karen Klein, who's a poet. But we're just so thrilled to be here with all of you wonderful students and staff at the Sargent Elementary School to celebrate the career and long-lasting impact of Annie Laura Sargent in North Andover. And she, as you all might know, she was an educator for 54 years. That's a very long time. But not only that, she has a deep love and commitment to our community, and she's done so much to give back, and that's exactly what we hope to inspire you to do, is to give back and be good, kind people to our community, and we want to be here to support you in that work. And it's truly such an honor for us to be here to present a citation to celebrate the 100th anniversary. And so I'll hand it over to my colleague, Representative Minicucci. Can we give her a hand? Only 5.
You guys are an absolute amazing group of children. I go to schools all around, and I have never seen so many kids who are so excited to be outside, first of all, but to also be such a great audience. This is really awesome. Congratulations, Principal. You guys work hard here. So just as Rep. Nguyen said, we are just so excited to be here because, as you can see, you have 2 women legislators. And there was a time not that long ago where women they weren't principals. As you said, there aren't a lot of girl principals, but you have one. And there was a time when there weren't people doing what we're doing, making laws that were girls. They didn't have girl legislators. But North Andover has the 2 of us. And you have also a girl senator. So as you can see, over the past 100 years, a few things have changed. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you. And we have another citation, just like Dr. Gilligan's, that can hang on the wall of your school. And this came from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts House of Representatives. And be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Annie L. Sargent Elementary School, that's all of you, in recognition of the 100-year anniversary of Annie L. Sargent becoming the first female principal at Johnson High School. Principal Sargent was a leader and a pioneer who broke barriers and paved the way for other women, including the first woman ever elected to public office in North Andover. We celebrate her many great achievements, and we're giving this to you today, and it's signed by the 2 of us and the Speaker of the House, and we're so excited because this is for all of you too. So.
Okay, next we're going to hear about, so we've been talking about Annie L. Sargent and her 54 years as an educator and as a principal and the first woman. Now we're going to hear from some fifth graders that Miss B is going to introduce and talk about some great things that these women have done as well. And they're going to be read by some students. And give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think it's easy sometimes for anyone to get up and talk on the mic. Is it easy? No. And so the way that we can make them feel that they're really supported by us is just what you're doing right now. Keep giving them that great respect and attention. And let's tell the representatives, what's the number one rule at Sargent School? Say it with me.
Be safe and be kind.
Okay, and you're doing that right now. Well done. So let's give it 5 claps for Miss B.
Good afternoon, Sergeant Sharks.
Good afternoon, Miss Montpellier.
And welcome to our special guest. Thank you for coming. So as Mrs. Leahy mentioned, some of our fifth graders have been working hard over the past few weeks, researching first women, or girls who were the first to accomplish something. And we're going to hear from a few of those fifth graders today. Please welcome Madeline Nicolaisen from Miss Karen's class.
Catherine Switzer was born on January 5th, 1947 in Hamburg, Germany. Catherine Switzer wanted to run the Boston Marathon, but only men were allowed to run the Boston Marathon. And in 1967, Catherine Switzer became the first woman to officially register for the Boston Marathon. She used her initials KB Switzer to get in. When the race began, people realized a woman was running the Boston Marathon. People tried to pull her up, but she kept going. Catherine Switzer completed the 1967 Boston Marathon as number 261, and that forced rules to change.
Thank you, Madeline. Next up, we have Logan Fawaz.
Wilma Rudolph was the first American woman to win 3 track and field gold medals and to break 3 world records in a single Olympics. She was born in 1940 and lived until 1994. Not only was Wilma a great runner, but she overcame obstacles to become the best. She was sick as a child and had to wear braces on her legs. Her doctor told her she would never walk again. Her mother told her she would, and she believed her mother. As Wilma Rudolph once said, winning is great, sure, but if you are really going to win in life, do something in life, the secret is learning how to lose. Nobody goes undefeated all the time. If you can pick up after a crushing defeat and go on to win again, you're going to be a champion someday.
Nice job, Logan. They worked so hard on these. Next up, Adeline Gunn.
Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King was a famous female tennis player. She was the first female in any sport to earn more than $100,000 in a single season. She holds 39 Grand Slam titles, including 12 singles titles, 16 women's doubles titles, and 11 mixed doubles titles. She's important because she was one of the best tennis players of all time, and she's an activist for women's rights and much more. Men always told her that she wasn't as good as tennis at them, and multiple times she crushed those men. Billie is retired, but she has inspired so many young girls to follow their tennis dreams.
Nice job, Adeline. Our last speaker is Abby McQuan.
Sally Ride. Sally Kristen Ride was an American astronaut and physicist. She was born on May 26, 1951. Sally Ride became the first American woman to launch into space, riding the space shuttle SDS-7.
And the party keeps going, my friends. Nice job, fifth graders. Really good work. So now we have also our very first woman who we've been talking about is Annie L. Sargent, but we also have a great woman in our librarian who is Miss Courtney Ahern. Let's give her 5 claps.
Hello, Sargent School. Hello. So now I would like to take a moment and introduce 2 of my best friends, one of whom is the North Andover Historical Society Director, Brian Howard. Mr. Howard joined the Historical Society in January of 2020 and has lots of years of experience studying and teaching students all about history. Following Mr. Howard, we are so lucky to be able to hear a poem by Karen Klein. She is a local poet, a former poet laureate, and the founding member, or one of the founding members of the North Andover Poet Laureate program. So take it away, Mr. Howard.
Can you believe it's the middle of October? It is just beautiful out here. I love today, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you very much for your invitation. The Historical Society, quick show of hands. Anyone been to the Historical Society before? I'm there all the time. All right, well, you're going to have to come down and take a look because we preserve in pictures and documents and books and artifacts all of the stories that make North Andover special, including the history of Annie L. Sargent and Annie L. Sargent School. So you are a part of what we're preserving there, so future students can learn all about Annie L. Sargent, her influence, and the school itself that you are now attending. I look at the women who were just described here: Catherine Switzer and Wilma Rudolph, Billie Jean King, Sally Ride, and of course your own Annie L. Sargent. And I want you to remember that before Wilma Rudolph earned her gold medals, and Catherine Switzer ran the Boston Marathon, and Billie Jean King earned all of her tennis titles, and Sally Ride went into space, that they were your age, and they had their whole lives in front of them, and I want you to think about what they did with their lives, and think about the potential that every one of you has to do something really incredible with yourself. You are on the launching pad right here at Annie L. Sargent School, and I hope that in future generations, people will be coming up and reading your names at assemblies like this. Thank you.
Okay, and our last special guest, I know all of you know about poetry and about poems. I know that the 5th grade at the end of the year in June will have an academic night, and you'll actually share all of the poetry work that you've been doing. So what a wonderful gift to have Karen Klein, a renowned poet, come up and share a poem with us. Let's give her 5 claps.
Well, good afternoon. Boy, it's good to see everyone. My son was in the first class that ever graduated from Sargent School in 1996. So this is a special place for me. I have a book here about another lady from North Andover. Her name was Anne, and we're talking about Annie L. Sargent. This lady's name was Anne Bradstreet. I'd love to have you go to the North Andover Stevens Library and ask about Anne Bradstreet at the reference desk or the circulation desk. They'll tell you a lot. I have one little poem from Anne that's very, very special. I think you'll see why. This book, by any yet unread, I leave for you when I am dead, that being gone, here you may find what was your living mother's mind. Make use of what I leave in love, and God shall bless you from above. That's called To My Dear Children. You are all her dear children. Thank you.
Okay, now give me a thumbs up if now you really do believe that Sargent School is a special place. We get people that come from all over just to ask us about Sargent School. And it did start with the name Annie L. Sargent, but it continues with you all and the good work that you've done today and that you keep on doing. So let's stand, and we gave our guests this Sargent School song. So let's see if they'll sing along loud and proud with us. Can we stand? We need a little stretch, and let's sing this together.
Okay, Sargent School, we ended just like we started with our school song, full of spirit. Here we go. Give yourselves a round of applause.